Hello everyone, we are Code Paint team and today we are going to talk about our new product called Coronavirus Graphics. Coronavirus Graphics is an application that lets the user consult the status of North America's countries, in specific the actual confirmed cases of COVID-19, the resulting deaths, a graphic of cases versus deaths, and a future broadcast graphic by only clicking a button. The idea was born when the quarantine started. A lot of people began searching ways to check the actual confirmed cases of COVID-19 and the total of deaths caused by the disease. So we decided to give them another option. Our objective is helping the people to be informed about the actual situation by using easy to understand tools like graphics.
Let's start talking about the methodology. For this project we decided to use one based on prototypes because it's the easiest to adapt over time and it enables us add tools that might be necessary in the course of development, in which we were communicating through different applications like Hangouts, Microsoft Teams, and mainly through WhatsApp. Here, we divide the project in weekly goals for each one of us. At the same time, during the mornings and nights, we mention the progress, priorities, and errors that the project may have, so that the entire team is aware of everything that happens and not in the project. To record what each one was doing, we created a log with the necessary data to be aware, which you can also check with more detail in the repository. And to evaluate our contribution, we have a metric that you can also check in there for more details, in which we measure attendance at meetings as well as the complexity of what we do. Then we define the user and system requirements. Here we decided to focus on the interface to create one that can be simple but functional, where the user can choose the country that he wants and that could be ready to consult all the lists without the need to close the application, checking every time he wants the data. In the case you want to know the specification much more thoroughly, we have the complete documentation of the project requirements in our GitHub repository, link in the description. We decided to use as a base the format common case for variables and functions. In the case of libraries, we name it as recommended in their own documentation, and for the archives were named by using an uppercase in every first letter of a word. Of course, every one of them describing the purpose. The language used in the code was English. At the top of every part of the system, we can find a description with the authors, the date of release, the version, and a description of the purpose of the file. At this point, we use the Python for documentation of functions, so in every one of them we can find the purpose, the list of all the arguments, and what it returns. In main functions, sections are divided in input, process, and outputs, documented as a normal form, except that the return is not included. For the comments we have two ways, process and test. For the process, it is be written before or to the right of some step that needs to be explained, and for the test, it will be written at the bottom of the file with an entry if it is necessary, and an output. In the case of our type of project, the test only can be done by checking the information and trying the button.
During development, we generated a total of 6 prototypes before getting the final product. In every release, the project got more complete and smoother, and now we are going to talk about it. In the first prototype, main version 1.0.0, the network service was successfully added, thing that let the system retrieve information. In the second prototype, main version 1.1.0, the future broadcast equation was successfully added. In the third prototype, main version 1.2.0, the graph function was successfully added. In the fourth prototype, main version 1.3.0, was added the first part of the interface. There you can execute the program by only using the buttons, but to see the graphics was necessary to close the app. In the fifth prototype, main version 1.3.1 was completed the addition of the interface, but a bug appeared that didn't let the app to completely close. In the last prototype, main version 1.4.0, the sixth one, The app was changed to be from one file to 4 independent files. The bug was repaired and the interface had some modifications. In the final product, the application became an executable with a custom icon. This change helped avoid the necessity of install Python and all the other libraries used on the app in the user's PC. Do you remember the requirements? Well, in the final product you can find everyone like a file. Put values, get the data and place it in the interface. Gen graphic 1 and 2 have the work of generate the graphics when the user wants it, without needing to close the app. And main give the interface and the possibility of asking data the times that the user wants.
I think the most outstanding experience was adapted project for the situation of our partners that have to leave the team, because we have to change everything, start over and learn other technologies that we have no idea about. Although we think it was the best of all because we learned a lot more than we expected from the course. To be sure of the correct functionality of the program, we check the app in other computers, and it always works fine, in case of Windows. If someone can use the executable file, we let the Python file too, but in case of using it, as a final warning, don't move the X or main file from the folder or the program will crash. How are we supposed to use the app? After downloading the folder, open it and search the file CodePaint coronavirus.x. You can generate a direct access to that archive and move it to your desktop for community. Then execute it and a menu will appear. Here you can find a chart of countries and a button that says Submit. First select a country and next press the button. 4 boxes with specific information will be filed. Now, if you want to see the graphics, all you need to do is press on the magic buttons of the bottom. When you have finished, close the app and that's all.
Finally, we are going to give our opinion of the course. In the positive way, the teacher was very flexible in spite of the quarantine. We could learn everything and more. In the negative way, we will advise the teacher about if he could use more interactive or visual examples in the lessons to help us to understand the topic at the first. Well, that's all. I hope all of you to enjoy our project. See you next time.